Maritime Made on Eastlink TV, presented by Nova Scotia Business Inc., because great things are happening.
At Shree Ganesh Limited in Bridgewater, Nova Scotia, they've been making delicious Indian food and supplying it to grocery stores and restaurants around the Atlantic provinces since 2007. As a socially conscious business, Shree Ganesh partners with local employment agencies to make a difference in their community. Co-owner Meena's secret recipes were learned from her mother in India during her childhood. Samosas were a family favorite. The two main parts of a samosa are the dough and the filling. The traditional samosa filling consists of potatoes and vegetables, but they're also made with different meats. The filling begins with fresh local vegetables. First, potatoes are peeled, then run through the potato cutter and rinsed with water. Sri Ganesh goes through 500 pounds of potatoes for samosa production alone each week.
The rinsed potatoes are placed in a mixing tub where chopped onions are added, along with fresh garlic, fresh ginger, and a secret combination of many spices. Hot oil is added to the vegetables to help release the flavor in the spices. The ingredients are then mixed by hand. A splash of water is also added to help with the blending. The ingredients are covered with foil and baked in a hot oven for 1 hour. Once cooked, the finishing spices are added and stirred in. The filling is left to cool until it reaches a temperature that is safe for the refrigerator, where it will cool completely. To begin the dough, flour is measured into the mixer. Salt is added. Then oil is poured on top. Hot water is added while the mixer works its magic. The cook watches over the mixture to check on the consistency of the dough and makes any adjustments necessary for the right texture.
This 25-pound ball of dough is poured out onto the work surface and rolled smooth. The texture of the dough is dense, and it takes some strength to roll it out. Portioning the dough begins by cutting it into long strips with a pastry cutter, then slicing it into smaller, even pieces. Each piece is weighed and sized until it reaches the desired weight of 82 to 84 grams. Then each piece of dough is worked into a round shape called a roll-up. Each roll-up will become 2 samosas. A batch of dough this size makes enough for roughly 250 samosas. The roll-ups are doused in flour, stacked into piles, pressed, and loaded into a storage bin.
Once chilled, it's time to shape the samosa pockets. Each roll-up is run through a dough sheeter, dipped in flour, and run through for a second time. Chilling the dough makes it easier to handle during this part of the process. The roll-ups are cut in half, then hand-rolled using a traditional Indian rolling pin to become thin, smooth, and even. Now the dough is folded into the pocket shape of a samosa, and the edges are secured with a pastry paste made from flour and water. The pockets are then loaded up with cooled filling. Each one is weighed for consistency, ensuring a weight of 86 to 88 grams. Using pastry paste and a pinching technique, each pocket is sealed and the finished pockets are loaded onto trays. This team will hand make roughly 2,000 samosas per day. Each samosa is gently placed in the fryer to cook with a slow heat of 350 degrees. which helps the dough turn a nice, even golden color and become crispy. After 4 minutes in the fryer, the samosas are placed onto a tray, where they drain and cool until they can be handled. Then they're stacked onto a cooling tray and loaded into the cooling rack. Once they're cooled completely, they're off to the freezer until it is time for packaging.
At Sri Ganesh, everything is made by hand using traditional techniques, and the extra effort is well worth it. These samosas are served with a special tamarind sauce that is made and packaged on site. The sauce is poured into the packing machine, where it fills durable plastic packaging to make individual pouches of sauce. This machine can make up to 700 pouches per hour. Another specialty food from Shree Ganesh is pakoras. This is a secret family recipe from the Gujarati region of India. To make them, spinach, onion, different flours, many spices, and water are hand mixed together for just a few minutes. Once mixed, the pakora dough is dropped by hand into boiling oil, then flipped over once, removed, and placed in the deep fryer to continue cooking. The oil in the fryer is hotter than in the pan. This team will make up to 6,000 pieces of pakora each week. After just a few minutes, the pakora are removed and placed on a tray to drain and then to cool until they are refrigerated or frozen for shipping.
These ready-to-eat samosas and pakoras are shipped to grocery stores and restaurants all over Atlantic Canada. Products are also packed in bulk and heat-sealed for freshness. Sri Ganesh makes many different products: beef, chicken, and vegetable samosas, egg rolls, spring rolls, and even donair rolls. Priya's deep-fried chips are a special snacking treat too.